Can you tell us a little about Le Manoir?
Yes, the Manoir Quatre Saisons is Raymond Blanc's dream of excellence within a hotel and restaurant in the UK. We're a 32-bedroom luxury hotel with a stunning restaurant. The heart of the house is the food and the cuisine, and everything else that we do in the house is the ethos of the kitchen spreads into everywhere else in the house. It is a retreat from the norm and is supposed to be a house where you can come and feel comfortable. We like to think that the house tells you what you can do in it rather than what you can't do in it. It's a 2 Michelin star restaurant, and we've now been running for 25 years.
At Le Manoir, how do you define top quality customer service?
It's very difficult to answer that, but I would say that we try to exceed customers' expectations. We try very hard to see that customers are wanting something before they even know they want it. So therefore, we have to have empathy with the client, and we have to try and judge each client individually so that we sense what they're looking for and try and provide that service all the time. We also must provide consistent standards of service. If we don't provide a consistent standard, then one guest's expectations will be met and another guest won't be met. We try very hard to have a phrase within the house that the standards you set are the standards you get. And once you've set those standards, we try to offer those to guests at all times.
How do you train staff to deal with demanding customers?
Get them to empathise with the customer, the guest, try to put them in their place, try to see it from their point of view. We particularly allow every single member of the staff to have a guest experience, so they stay in the house overnight, they eat in the restaurant, and they understand what the experience is like for a paying guest. So therefore, if it was their own money they were paying for it, they would understand what they should expect for that. And I think that gives them an edge in understanding what a client is looking for when they come into the house. It's very high end here, so therefore people's expectations are very high, and we have to try and exceed those expectations. And I think by only getting the staff to understand what those expectations are, we can then meet them and exceed them.
Do you think that customer service requirements are changing, or have they always been about the same things?
I think they're becoming much more demanding. I think people are expecting a lot more for their money nowadays, and I think the way the world is now, people are more open and more questioning of what they're receiving for their money. So I think we have seen a definite increase in the number of people who would complain when perhaps they wouldn't have complained before, which is no bad thing because it gives us great feedback. But I think people in general are much more demanding nowadays than they used to be. And therefore we've had to up our game to actually provide better service. So yes, I really think that it has changed over the last few years.